Can we have it here one more time for our young performers? My name is Quackenbush. I've had the privilege of serving people in Portland for 17 years now. I started taking piano lessons when I was 8 years old, and I also like to, on a second level, sort of recognize the parents and the grandparents and the mentors and the people that support the young people in this artistic endeavor. So could we take a moment to recognize those folks as well? That's very important. I know my parents, it was a rule in the Quackenbush household that when you were 8 years old, you had to start piano lessons. No questions about that. You were just going to do it. But it takes a lot of discipline by the parents to instill that in their kids, and it takes a lot of saving pennies from grandma and papa to put away in the piggy bank to try to buy a decent instrument and get lessons and all that stuff. So kudos to everyone for supporting the kids. So you're involved in the highest traditions and the highest levels of thinking. Did you know that? You're going to learn all kinds of skills in school. You'll learn your math, you'll learn your science, you'll learn, physical education, and do all that kind of stuff. But art is where everything really comes together, because ultimately it's not about what we do, it's about how we do it. Okay, when you choose your path in life and you go and do something, I know doctors that play the piano, I know lawyers that play the piano, and it's that artistic level of thinking, that highest level of thinking that you're learning to use in dealing with those nerves, getting up in front of people and doing stuff and being brave. That is, you're learning skills that are going to set you on the path to success, I guarantee it. So remember that, okay? All that being said and done, I gotta put my money where my mouth is, and I need to play a little something. So this is a piece that's a little newer to me, but by one of the greats and one of my personal favorites of all time, Ludwig van Beethoven. This is his third to last piano sonata, Opus 109. I'll just play the first movement for you, but it's great to remember that in his time, when the great immortal Beethoven wrote this, when he wrote this particular piece, by this time he was completely deaf. He could not hear a darn thing. All of his contemporaries and everybody that lived around him thought he had completely lost his mind. He had cut off the legs to his piano in his apartment, and he had it laying on the floor, and he would literally lay on the floor, and he would pound on the instrument to try to feel the vibrations, because he generally kind of knew where the notes were and what things sounded like, but he would still do things like it. He drove everybody crazy. He thought he was a crazy man. So he had been completely written off by this point. But over a century and a half later, this is one of his late music and some of his most highly regarded work, and land breaking that was too much for people at the time. So I hope you enjoy my humble rendering of his E major sonata first.